Today I'm going to compare these two different types of radios. One is a GMRS radio and the other one is an LTE type cellular push-to-talk radio. I'm going to help you decide in this video which one might be best for your particular situation. It might turn out it's both. Stick around, we'll check it out. Hey, well, if you're already subscribed, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Scott and I travel full-time with my wife Ellen in our fifth wheel. We've been doing it for about 3 years as of this video, and we make videos about campground reviews, adventure stuff, and tech videos like this one today. So if that's the kind of stuff you're interested in, please subscribe and hit the like button and share this out to other people if you think they'd be interested. Today we're going to talk about the comms that we use when we're on the road. I've got two different things here, and let me explain to you what each one of them is. First off, we have this regular kind of walkie-talkie. This is called a GMRS radio, and it's similar to what you might be familiar with on the FRS, which is a family radio system, the little walkie-talkies that you might pick up in a Best Buy or Amazon and stuff like this. This is GMRS, and it's a little bit more powerful. It has about 4 to 5 watts of power. It just means it has more power and range. It's radio to radio. I have two of them, the other one's in the rig, but it communicates radio to radio, so it relies on no other infrastructure at all. As long as they're powered up and within range of one another, push, talk, walkie-talkie, just like when you were a kid. Here's the box for them. This is a Midland version or brand, and you'll notice here it says the range up to 36 miles. Well, yeah, maybe. That's if you have clear line of sight with no obstructions. Practically, the way we've been using it, it's a couple of miles on the highway when I have straightaways and no obstructions. My son and I were up in Glacier National Park, and we were on a trail, and we were about a half-hour walking distance away from each other, and we could communicate using these. So results vary. The bigger point is that they are radio to radio and don't rely on any other infrastructure. I think I might have said they're $150 for two of them. These, because they are the GMRS, do require a license that you have to get from the FCC. The license is $30 for 10 years and covers your entire immediate family. There's no test involved. You have to answer a few questions and things like that. And then there are a few rules that you have to use when you're using them. You have to announce your call sign periodically. This one also has a weather station capability, so you can listen to the local weather from the National Weather Service. If there's hailstorms like we went through a couple of weeks ago, we used it for that.
The following is a weather alert for the following county: Yellowstone, Montana. The National Weather Service in Billings has issued a flash flood warning for west central Yellowstone County in south central Montana until 2 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
Good battery life. The kit comes with the chargers and everything else you need. It comes with an earpiece so you can do a little bit hands-free. That's how that one works. The next one is this, and this is a push-to-talk radio. It relies on some of the cellular infrastructure. It's much like the Nextel service you may be familiar with from a decade or so ago, where it was a cell phone, but you could also just talk to somebody it was registered with. So if you had a group of people, friends, family, whatever, and you knew their telephone number, you put it in and then you could push to talk. Just push the button, opens up the communication line instantaneously. You didn't have to dial their number or anything like that, just like a walkie-talkie. The thing with these is that it does rely on the cellular infrastructure. You don't have to have full bars. It doesn't work the same way as a cell phone in terms of how much data and how much signal it needs. It will work on reduced signal, but if there is no signal at all, or you're outside of a cellular coverage area, they will not work, no matter how close the radios are to one another, because they do not communicate radio to radio. They go from radio to tower infrastructure back down to the radio. And they will work very far. If you had cellular coverage in one city and somebody completely across the country had cellular service as well, and the mated radio, these are programmed to talk to each other, and you push that, boom, instantly, within a second, they would hear you, call out to them, and you could communicate just by pushing that button. No texting, no dialing the phones, nothing like that, just instant communication. And you can set up different groups if you have more people in the network. They work really well when you have some level of cellular coverage, but if you're outside of cellular coverage, they will not work at all. Here's the box for that, and it says a few things. It says unlimited distance. Well, yeah, as long as you have connectivity on either end. It says, this is the big thing. This is rapid radios. They say no monthly service fee or no monthly charge and no contracts. And that's true. There is no monthly charge and there is no contract, but there is a fee, and it's $50 per year. So it's a little misleading, right? Say no monthly fee. Well, absolutely true, but there is a fee to use them, $50 a year. The first year is covered in the price you pay. I got a set of 2 for $399 off Amazon. They came already set up. They were actually charged. I just turned them on, waited for them to register the network, had to go to the website and register them to let them know that I had them in possession, and boom, they just worked. They were both in the same cellular coverage area, boom, talking back and forth. They work really well when there is cellular service. They say nationwide coverage. Yes, nationwide if you have cellular service. I can't harp on that enough. There's a lot of people out there making comments, oh, they don't work, they're misleading advertisements. Yeah, a little bit misleading if you don't read into the details, but they do what they ultimately claim with all their little disclaimers. They're true to what they are. We've used them for about 6 weeks now, and they've turned out to be pretty good. I've got a couple of use cases where they haven't worked at all. I'll show you those. And let me tell you how we use them. Ellen and I each have a vehicle. I have the tow vehicle, and I'm towing the RV, and then she follows behind with her car. And we want to talk to each other while we're driving and do some traffic management and stuff like that. So if I wanted to get into the high-speed lane, previously I would have called her on the phone and say, hey, open up that lane for me, or pull out, block for me, and I'll get into that lane. That worked out pretty well. But sometimes you got to set up that call, and it takes just a little bit of time. You can tell Siri, dial Ellen, and it'll set up the call. But if there's no cellular service, we're not going to be able to communicate. So that's why I wanted to get some level of comms that would just be a general radio and be able to walkie-talkie back and forth. And that's worked out well. They do say that 36-mile range, but that's if you have that clear line of sight. Practically, we get about 1 or 2 miles out of these. Up on the highway, clean line of sight and stuff like that. Sometimes around bends and stuff, they worked out pretty well. These, on the other hand, when there is no cellular service, don't do anything for us. But when there is cellular service, even if she's 5 or 7 miles behind me, as long as we both have service, these work great. I've been in campgrounds where I can't even communicate to her with these on the other side of the campground because there's so many obstructions. Even if we're a mile away, just so many obstructions. There's too much interference. We couldn't get this to work. I was in KOA in Billings, Montana, and I couldn't communicate to her on the other side for whatever reason. It was very dense, a lot of obstructions. These, on the other hand, worked fine. We're on trail up in Glacier, my son and I, and we were about a half hour of hiking distance away from each other, and we could use these fine. These, on the other hand, wouldn't work at all. These rely on cellular coverage. If there is no cellular coverage, boom, you're out of luck. Let's see. This one requires that $30 for 10-year license. Yeah, so both of them. Yeah, I'm keeping both of them. That's what we've decided because they both work in their own independent situations, and I like to have guaranteed communications. It's kind of a safety thing with me. I know that you can always dial the phone, but up on the highway, for example, if I see something I need to get over quick, I don't have time to dial the phone. It takes maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and I'd rather just be going, hey, I got to get over. Can you open up the lane for me? Or if I got to get over because there's a piece of debris, or if she needs to get in touch with me quickly because she sees something, traffic behind you, move over, or there's somebody coming up quick, watch out, or do you see that guy on the left, whatever the case may be. Having that instant communication is really convenient. Also, using them, if she's guiding me to back up into a site when in a campground, we could use our phones for that if there's cellular coverage, but if there's not, we still have these. I think I covered everything I need to say about those. Let me show you a couple of the scenarios where they worked and they didn't work, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. I know that was a lot of talking, but hey, I think I wanted to be thorough. Here we go. All right, so my son and I just finished this 2.5-hour hike, about 6 miles or so, up in Glacier National Park. Let me show you what this scenery is up here. We've got a little bit of a glacial lake here. Some glacial ice up there. But there is my son down there somewhere. Right there in the blue. I don't know if you can see him. But he can't hear me. But we do have our GMRS radio here. So I will communicate to him. Hey, Colin, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so there. So he's over there, so that's pretty good use case. I mean, we're just a few feet away. He could be with anywhere line of sight in here, and I'd be able to communicate with him. Even if he were over those hills, I might be able to get in touch with him. If he was on a trail ahead of me about half a mile or so. Here are the rapid radios, which are based on cellular service, despite how the advertisements might read. There is no cellular service up here, so they will not communicate with each other, no matter how close you are. They rely on the cellular towers to work. Despite them saying that they have national coverage, here I am in a national park outside of cell service, and they do not work. For this use case, they are completely useless. And here is my cell phone. It does not have any cellular service either, so it is pretty much useless. For any type of communication, off-grid, rely on either family radio service or the GM radio service. You do need a license for these. I'll explain more about that later in the video. But here's a use case where these rapid radio, push-to-talk, cellular type radios and similar are completely useless. Here's another use case where the rapid radios fail. Ellen is right behind me. I can see her in my rear view mirror. Here's the rapid radio. I'm going to try to communicate with her. Ellen, can you hear me? Ellen, can you hear me? Nothing. The reason for that is because there's no cellular service right here where we are. All I'm seeing around us is all kinds of mountains. Now what I'll try is our GMRS radio, which does not require any cellular infrastructure at all. It's radio to radio. So I will see if she can hear me. Ellen, can you hear me on this radio?
Yes, I can.
All right, I was just transmitting on another radio. Could you hear me on that one?
No, I could not.
And on your phone right now, do you see any cellular service?
I do not see any.
So you don't have any bars.
Hold on, I'm trying to check while driving.
Oh, well, don't do that. I thought you had it on the CarPlay and could see it on your screen. Don't worry. There's none there. I don't have it. You don't have it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so there you go. So this radio is working for us. The rapid radios is not. Now, we were down on the road a while back, and the cellular service was strong, and it was working fine, the rapid radio, that is. And this one was working fine, too. So the GMRS radio, for our use case, where Ellen's following behind me within a few miles, I can hear her, and we can communicate. With the rapid radios and no cellular service, regardless of how close she is to us, or we are to each other, there is a use case where the rapid radios are ineffectual. All right, so in fairness, I wanted to do a test with this radio about 5 miles or so from the RV. That's where Ellen's at. This is the rapid radio. I'm going to test that. But before I do that, here is the GMRS radio, which is line of sight. Like I said, we're about 5 miles away. I'll try to communicate with Ellen with this. Ellen, can you hear me on this radio? She's usually pretty quick to respond, so I'm going to go with no, she can't hear me. Now I'll try this one. All right, Ellen, I'm recording. Can you hear me on this radio?
If I can hear you on this radio.
Thank you very much. And do you hear me clearly? She may not have heard me clearly. Let me try that again. Can you hear me clearly?
I can. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, now I can hear you. I didn't hear you the first time for whatever reason, but I can hear you now. It's working well.
Do you want me to sing you a song or something?
Sure, I will put it in the video if you do.
I don't really know any songs, though, that I can sing out loud.
Great, you have disappointed our audience. I guess she doesn't want to respond to that. Here's a scenario or use case where this is working about 5 miles away. We both have cellular service. Here's a situation where we are too far away because of obstructions and no line of sight, and the GMRS radio is not working. So that's kind of a fair assessment between the two. Like I said, two of these, the Rapid radios, $399 for the two of them. The GMRS Midland radios, I'll put links to these things down below, but these were $150 for two. They come with everything you need to use them, the charging cables. This one comes with a base to charge them in. All well and good. So yeah, my choice is to keep both of them. Hopefully you got benefit from this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below as usual. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. And if you think anybody else get value from this content, please share it out to them. Thanks for watching. Take care.